Well, as we told you before on this show and documented pretty conclusively, the Southern Poverty Law Center is a progressive activist group like hundreds of others. But for some reason, the media have anointed them the national arbiters of what is or what is not a hate group, which is a shame since they are totally fake and dishonest. Now, 47 conservative leaders and organizations have released a letter calling on the media to stop citing the Southern Poverty Law Center and its fake data, calling that group correctly discredited and defamatory. Tony Perkins is the president of the Family Research Council, which was once a victim of a terror attack inspired by the SPLC's rhetoric. He joins us tonight. Tony, thanks a lot for coming on. So if I'm not misunderstanding this, you're attempting to convince the media to stop taking this fake group seriously, correct?
Well, in part. We're also putting the media on notice that if you are going to take the SPLC, as you described, a liberal activist organization that acts as a pit bull for the left, no offense to the pit bulls out there, that they are using that information, putting it up, that they're endangering the lives of people by putting up this information from the Southern Poverty Law Center, which has no basis in fact or truth.
Well, to call someone a hate group is to lump them in the popular mind, in my mind anyway, with like Nazis and crazy people, violent people, truly scary people.
Well, and that's what they did for the first 2 decades of their hate list, but 2 years into the Obama administration, when it was open season on Christian organizations that were opposing the Obama administration, that's when they started adding Christian groups to their list, and they started popping up in 2010 when President Obama unleashed his hostility toward religion, and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was taking the same agenda overseas.
You would think that any normal reporter, no matter how liberal, would be looking through the list of hate groups, so-called hate groups, and say, you know, okay, so, some of them are clearly hateful and crazy. Then they get to the Family Research Council and you say, you know, I may not agree with their agenda, but like they're not a hate group. Why does nobody at, say, CNN or the Washington Post ever think, like, this is overreach? It's not a hate group, it's a Christian group.
Well, it requires thinking, and I don't think they do. They're taking this, but there's a bigger agenda behind this. The former spokesman for the Southern Poverty Law Center, Mark Potox, he made very clear, he said, and I'm going to quote from him so I don't get it wrong, he said, you know, we don't have any objective criteria here. This is not based on criminality or violence. Quote, we're trying to wreck the groups, we're trying to destroy the groups. This is, again, the left's pit bull going after those who oppose the left's agenda. That's what this is about, and the media needs to be put on record knowing that that's what's behind the SPLC.
It's just so dishonest. It's like treating Media Matters like a legitimate, you know, media analysis group, which the press also did until they were called on it repeatedly. Have you had any response from media organizations to your letter?
Not really. With the conservative groups, the conservative media that understands what the SPLC is up to, yes, they are publishing it. Others, you know, not so much so. But here's the thing, Tucker. They now know they have no excuse when there's another attack like we saw against Republicans, the Republican Congressmen, or the attack on the FRC 5 years ago. The media has become complicit in this violence sponsored by, inspired by, I should say, the Southern Poverty Law Center.
And it's just so dishonest. A hate group. What does that even mean? I hate that garbage. Tony, thank you so much. Good to see you tonight.
Good to be with you.